Welcome to Bible Study with Fred. I'm going to be reading today from Exodus chapter 21, verses 22 to 36, and making some comments. If you want to follow along with me in your Bible, you can purchase my comments on Amazon in Kindle or paperback form, or just follow me here. If men strive and hurt a woman with child, starting in verse 22 of chapter 21, so that her fruit depart from her, and yet no mischief follow, he shall surely punished, according as the woman's husband will lay upon him, and he shall pay as the judges determine. If any mischief follow, then thou shalt give life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burning for burning, wound for wound, stripe for stripe. And if a man smite the eye of his servant or the eye of his maid, that it perish, he shall let him go free for his eye's sake. If he smite out his manservant's tooth or his maidservant's tooth, he shall let him go free for his tooth's sake. If an ox gore a man or a woman, that they die, then the ox shall be surely stoned, and his flesh shall not be eaten, but the owner of the ox shall be quit. But if the ox were wont to push with his horn in time past, and hath been testified to his owner, and he hath not kept him on in, but that he hath killed a man or woman, the ox shall be stoned, and his owner shall also be put to death. If there be laid on him a sum of money, then he shall give for the ransom of his life whatsoever is laid upon him. Whether he hath gored a son or hath gored a daughter, according to his judgment shall it be done unto him. If the ox shall push a manservant or a maidservant, he shall give unto the master 30 shekels of silver, and the ox shall be stoned. And if a man shall open a pit, or if a man shall dig a pit, and not cover it, and an ox or an ass fall therein, the owner of the pit shall make it good, and give money unto the owner of them, and the dead beast shall be his. And if one man's ox hurt another's that he die, then they shall sell the live ox and divide the money of it, and the dead ox also they shall divide. Or if it be known that the ox hath used to push in time past, and his owner hath not kept him in, he shall surely pay ox for ox, and the dead shall be his own. Now, verse 22 shows that accidentally causing a miscarriage of a pregnancy that does not also result in the death of the mother is not punishable by death. It also underscores, under ancient custom, the fact that women had few rights on their own, but that their treatment was an extension of their husband's rights. We saw how Dinah's rape in Genesis was avenged because of the disgrace it brought on the family, not because it was a crime against Dinah. The woman had few rights apart from a relationship with her father or her husband. In a tribal society, the sense of self-identity and self-worth of many people is swallowed up in the identity and worth of the group. Punishment was to be equal among Hebrews of any rank, an eye for an eye. However, disturbingly, the exception was that if a servant was injured, they must be set free, extended even to the knocking out of a tooth. Nothing here about a servant being treated on an equal footing with a master. A domestic animal that killed a person was to be killed itself. However, if the owner knew the animal was dangerous, the owner was also put to death, although he could ransom his way out of the sentence. It did not matter if the victim was male or female. An equal value was placed on a woman's life. If his animal injured another man's servant, he had to pay restitution. If an animal fell into a pit a man had dug, he had to pay the owner up for it if he died. If one man's animal killed another man's animal, the living animal must be sold and the money divided between the two as well as the carcass of the dead animal. But if he knew the animal was dangerous, he was required to pay for the dead animal. Laws of responsibility, blame, guilt, and punishment were controlled vengeance. It would not be hard to imagine this wandering group of ex-slaves descending into nothing but vendettas and anarchy without order or any future. God providing standards, modifying existing customs, and making the Hebrews accountable to his law could provide a stable base for society. I'm going to avoid the many sermons that this passage brings to mind in order not to slow down the narrative, but just think of the parallels in the world of the Spirit. Do ordinances and commandments for this world reflect anything that is going on in the spiritual world? Do you ever wonder? We'll stop there and start with Exodus chapter 22 regarding laws of theft and for the Hebrews, for the Israelites. And we'll stop there. Hope you'll read your Bible, study your Bible, cross-reference the verses, pray to God for wisdom and understanding, and then share your interpretation with someone else. Thank you.